Hello there and welcome to our first music lesson of 2021. I hope you're having a great time. And this term, as you may know already, we're learning about animals. I wonder what your favourite animal is. Now, all animals, like people, make sounds. And we're going to be thinking a bit about the different sounds that animals make. And we're going to start with a little quiz. I'm going to play you an animal sound and you have to guess which animal that is. Now, as we go through the quiz, I will be giving you the answers after each question. But I'd like you to keep score of how many you've got right. And I'd like you to tell me how many on seesaw a bit later. So, on to our first question. Which animal do you think is making this sound? Ooh, a tricky one to start. I wonder if you know. Let's listen once again. So I can tell you that if you thought that was a pig, you are correct. Well done. That is correct. That was a pig. And on to our second question, our second animal. Which animal do you think is making this sound? A tricky one again. That almost sounded like a human baby, didn't it? But it wasn't. Shall we listen again? And I wonder if you know which animal this is. That's right. It's a cat. Well done if you thought that was a cat. That's one more point for you. I wonder how many you've got right so far. Have you got any right? Well done if you have. On to our third animal. Which animal do you think is making this sound? One of my favourite animals, this one. Let's listen again. Well done if you thought that was a cow. You're absolutely right. On to our next animal. Another favourite of mine here. I wonder which animal this is. Let's listen one more time. That's right, it was a duck. Now I love going to Bedford Park near where I live and looking at the ducks. And I think I might do that today a bit later. On a nice walk. But first, on to our next animal. Which animal do you think is making this sound? And one more time. That was, of course, a dog, and apologies to those of you with dogs in your homes because they may well have thought that another dog was around and started barking themselves. I'd love to know if that happened. So on to our final animal now, or perhaps I should say animals, as there are more than one of these. But which animals do you think are creating this sound? And one more time. They were birds. Well done if you got that right. I wonder how many of those questions you got right. I'd love to know on Seesaw. Another thing which you can do, which I'd love to hear you do, is maybe you could imitate some of those sounds. Maybe you could try and make the sound of a dog, for instance. Woof, woof. I'm not very good at that, but I think that was a recognizable dog at the least. I wonder if you can do better. Now, musicians and composers throughout all of history have not only imitated or pretended to be animals with their own voices, they've also used instruments, and they've written music pretending to be different instruments. Now, in the next part of our lesson, we're moving on to a multiple choice quiz where I'm going to play you a piece of music which is written about a specific animal, and you have to decide which animal that is. So, on to our first piece. Was this piece written about A, a giraffe, B, a rhinoceros, C, a dog, or D, a bumblebee? What do you think? Okay, and I'd like you to give me your answers to these questions. So on the seesaw task, you should be able to answer this question with an A, B, C, or D, and I'll get back to you with the answers. Okay, so on to our second animal-inspired piece of music. Was this music written about A, snakes, B, birds, C, fish, or D, donkeys? That's A, snakes, B, birds, C, fish, or D, donkeys. What do you think? And on to our third piece now. Do you think that this was written about A, a wolf, B, a sheep, C, a mouse, or D, a pig? Okay, and there are two more of these to go. So, firstly, was this music written about A cow, B, a donkey, C, a shark, or D, a monkey? What do you think? And on to our final piece of music. Do you think this was written about A, rhinos, B, cheetahs, C, cats, or D, fish? Lovely stuff. Now I can tell you that that last piece of music that you've listened to is from a piece called The Carnival of the Animals. And this is a piece we're going to be learning a bit more about as the term goes on. And it's by a French composer called Camille Saint-Saëns. And Camille Saint-Saëns was going through a tough time in his life. He had just been on a disastrous concert tour where he had made a lot of mistakes and things weren't going very well for him. And he felt, maybe I'm not a very good musician, oh dear. And he decided, as a bit of fun, to write this piece, which is all about different animals, and every movement, every section, part of the piece is about a different animal. And we're going to be learning about these together. And today, we're going to start by learning about the cuckoo. I wonder if you know what sound a cuckoo makes. That's right, it goes cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo. Now in his piece, Saint-Saëns used an instrument called the clarinet to make this sound. Let's have a listen to what that sounds like. Okay, so we're now going to listen to the piece of music from Saint-Saëns, and I would like you to count the number of that you hear. And it's quite a lot, so pay very close attention and keep count really carefully. And that's the end of our listening quiz for this week. I'd like you to put your answers on Seesaw for me. But that's not the end of our fun together, because you will see on the Seesaw task there is an elephant song for you to listen to. And this elephant song is the music from Sansong Carnival of the Animals, with some words that I've added about an elephant. So you can have a listen to that and you can try and sing along. It's a little bit tricky to sing, but give it a go. I managed it, so I'm sure you can. And also, your class names are, of course, named after animals, rabbits and hedgehogs. So I've put the link there to the rabbit song and the hedgehog song, so you can watch those videos and sing along with the bits that you know. I'm very much looking forward to seeing you on Seesaw, also possibly with some videos of you making some lovely animal sounds. I would love to see those, or a voice recording would be great as well. So hope to see you soon, and that's all from me. Bye bye.